Good afternoon. Welcome to the Making Sales Easy Facebook Live. I'm Lee Ashton, for those of you that don't know me, and I am going to spend the next 10 minutes max talking about leads, because one of the things that people share with me most often is they're great when they get in front of somebody, yet getting leads is the hardest thing for them. Now, one of the things when I speak with a small business owner and then they share with me how business does come in, it kind of really surprises me that then they say in the same breath almost that they don't know how to generate leads. Because my experience of working with small business owners over the last 20 years is that actually a small business owner does know exactly how to get leads. So they know that it's going to be either networking or sending out emails or speaking, or they know exactly how to generate leads or the thing that they have to do, and yet they're still not doing it. And now that's a really interesting thing, isn't it? Because if you know how to get leads and you're not doing it, actually the problem is not that you don't know how to generate leads. The problem is that you're not taking action on the things that you know that generate leads. So what is it that stops you doing that thing or those things, whatever those things are? And I really strongly recommend, if you've never done this before, is to take yourself off to a quiet place and ask yourself that very question. What stops me networking? What stops me speaking? What stops me doing X, Y, or Z? The very things that you know help you attract interest in your services or products. Because that's your real problem. It's not actually generating the leads itself. Now, it could be that something inside here stops you doing it. Something says, well, I don't really know how to do it. I'm really worried in case somebody says no. I really don't want to be pushy. There's all that stuff that goes on in your head. So that's one topic that I'm not covering today, but it's really great, even just having the awareness of what goes on in here that stops you. What I want to cover today is the how, because I think that's also one of the barriers. If you don't know how to network or how to create an email marketing sequence, or if you don't know how to speak in public about what you do, if you don't know how to pitch your services and products, because the how is also a barrier. So it's not knowing necessarily what to do, it's about focusing on the how. So what I want to start with is every lead starts off with a conversation, a sales conversation, but it's like any other conversation. So if you met somebody in the street or in a social setting, and you just started chatting, that's conversation, a two-way interaction. Now, what's really interesting is as soon as you add the word sales to the word conversation, people think that it's a very different kind of conversation. Now, I'm going to say to you, it is not. It is exactly the same as any conversation. It is you being focused on the other person and finding out what's going on for them, what their problems and challenges are, in the same way that you would talk with a client. You know, if you had a meeting with a client, your job is to find out exactly what they need. Your job is to find out what problems they have. So once they're a client, you have no problem speaking with them. Or if they're a referral and they've come to you, you have no problem asking them all those amazing open questions so that you can find out what you can do to make their life, their world, their business better than it currently is. And Doing that with a stranger is no different. So if you go to a networking event, you do exactly the same. You have that conversation, you ask those questions. You don't start telling them about you, you find out about them. So open questions are absolutely the cornerstone to any conversation that will generate a lead, because without that, you don't know whether that person or that business is the right customer for you. So for those of you that are not really certain about open questions, then anything that starts with who, what, where, when, or how is absolutely perfect. And if it has the word you in it, so what kind of problems are you experiencing? How have you dealt with that in the past? If it's got a what, a how and a you in it, they are the best questions because they'll get dialogue. For me, what and you questions are the king of open questions, if there can be such a thing. So always have about 5 or 6 really great open questions that start the conversation going so that they're doing the talking and not you. And in any kind of new conversation, never, ever, ever ask a why question. Never, ever, because that's really confrontational and it causes the other person to go into defense mode because they're defending what they've just said. You know, why would you do that? It doesn't matter how soft and fluffy you make it sound, it's still going to have that attacking kind of energy to it. And what you don't want to do is to generate any kind of negative emotion in the other person. So find out about them. Now, you can do that in any form. So what I suggest you do as a starting point for today is identify where most of your leads come from right now. So have a think about all of the leads that you've generated over the last 6 months and identify, did they mostly come from speaking? Did they mostly come from meeting people at events? Did they mostly come from your digital marketing? You figure out which is the one activity that actually generates you the most leads in your business. And once you've worked that out, going forward, I want you to focus on doing a little bit towards that each and every day. Now, I'm not saying you need to go to a networking event every day, but every day put aside like 10 or 15 minutes to look at networking events where the kind of people that you would like to do business with go to. Reach out. It might be that networking for you is on LinkedIn. So by doing 10 or 15 minutes every day towards the one thing that generates you the most leads is the absolute best way of you generating leads in your business. So all the clues are there. Everything you need in your business right now is telling you what you need to do more of. So after this Facebook Live, I want you, I know it's lunchtime, but you can still spare even 10 minutes just to do something towards the one activity that generates you the most leads. And if you've got any questions, I'll just check because I can see some comments here. I have to put my glasses on for this bit. Okay. Want to know. Oh, yes, I forgot to say that. Please tell me that you're here. But as we're towards the end of it, it's a little bit late for that. If you've got any questions at all, pop them on the comments underneath and I will respond to every single one. If you've got any doubts about what the right activity is, if you've got any doubts about what to do first, then just put your comments and your questions in the post, underneath the post, and I will respond to every one of them personally. It's now 9 minutes and I promise to do this in 10 minutes, so it's really easy for everybody to get a little slice of something to do in the lunchtime in the shortest possible time. So it's been great sharing with you today. I'm not quite sure what I'll be doing Facebook Live next Wednesday, but I'll let you know nearer the time. Bye everybody, have a fantastic Wednesday. Bye bye.